The cerebrum, the cerebellum, the pituitary gland, the brainstem are key parts of the baby's brain. Did you know that these are very important in the growth of your baby? Stay with me today on this channel, Pregnancy Solutions with Gerard Massa, and we are going to talk about the different parts of the brain of the baby. Thank you. Welcome once again, and today, without further ado, we shall go to the first part of the brain, and this is known as the cerebrum. The cerebrum is located in the front part of the baby's brain. It is also known as the largest part of the baby's brain. It has the two lobes, that is the frontal lobe and also the temporal lobe. The cerebrum is specifically responsible for thinking, it's also responsible for memory, and it's also responsible for reasoning. The next part of the brain is known as the cerebellum. The cerebellum is responsible most specifically for motor activities of the baby's growth. This actually controls activities such as walking, the hand activities. These will be the activities that will be performed later on when the child is born. So our second part of the brain we've looked at is the cerebellum. The next part of the brain we are going to look at is known as the brain stem. The brain stem is another important part of the brain. The main reason why we are emphasizing that it's very important is because in this part of the brain, this is where the control of activities such as breathing, such as blood pressure and heartbeat takes place. So control of the baby's blood, of the blood pressure of the baby plus the heartbeat plus breathing specifically takes place in the brain stem. The next part of the brain we are going to look at is known as the pituitary gland. The pituitary gland specifically releases hormones, and these hormones control the baby's activities. They control the activities of the body. Thanks a lot once again for staying with me, and we've just looked at the functions of the different parts of the brain, and in summary we will cover actually the cerebrum, and we've said that the cerebrum is that part that is responsible for functions such as thinking, reasoning and memory. And we also looked at the second part, which was called the cerebellum, and we said that the cerebellum is responsible for motor activities. These include walking, moving the hands. And we also looked at a very important part of the brain, which is known as the brainstem, and the brainstem is responsible for activities such as blood pressure control, heartbeat and breathing. Damage to any of these parts directly leads to results which are not so good. So as a new mother, as someone who has just conceived and you've just got pregnant, you need to know that development of the nervous system is among the first things that takes place when a woman gets pregnant. Actually, this begins immediately 16 days after conception, whereby the whole nervous system begins forming, and it forms slowly. It forms beginning from a tube which is called the neural tube. This actually goes on to grow still in the first 16 weeks. In the first trimester, it goes on to grow to form the three major parts of the brain. And these include the forebrain, it also includes the midbrain and the hindbrain. In our next lecture, we shall talk more about the forebrain, the hindbrain, and the midbrain. Without further ado, let me go on and welcome you once again to our channel, Pregnancy Solutions with Gerard Massa. Ask me all your questions, I will answer them personally, and please don't hesitate to hit the bell, like and subscribe to get the best pregnancy tips every day delivered into your notifications. like and subscribe, and thanks for sparing some few minutes to stay with us. Have yourself a fantastic day. Bye bye.